Okay. And then BeerBiceps happened. I think we spoke about that also, the early phase of
Yeah.
BeerBiceps, where you weren't too sure and then like,
Yeah, because I nobody knew that social media is going to become like this. It's going to boomerang so much that even television, compared to television, also people will start watching OTTs and they'll watch, they'll be constantly on their phones, and there would be something like Instagram or YouTube and all. Who knew?
at what point in my media career did you feel that he's probably actually doing something all right?
I don't think it's an exact moment, but gradually I think I could see that the money was coming in, and you had started investing properly, so you were looking at a building up a long term source of income and all those things. So gradually I realized that this itself, and at the same time social media also was had started booming, and in the middle you would tell me that you know what this person earns, you know what this Instagram star earns, and so on. So I it opened my eyes to the kind of money you all earn which I had no clue about.
How do you feel about that? Because I've not done a higher education. I've not done an MBA. You wanted me to do an MBA for a very long time.
See, the point of you doing an MBA is not that you get educated and more educated and become a professor. The point of it is that you get a better quality of job, you earn more. So if you're earning more through another path, that's good enough. I'm happy. I
Okay.
only wanted you to have some reasonable degree which you could bank on in bad times.
But I genuinely feel times have changed so much that you can grow in life without a higher education.
So I read this Instagram post or Twitter post that all Indian parents, they tell their children, first you become an engineer, then you do whatever you want.
When you see my adult life now, did you think that this adult would have been that
No,
kid?
no, there was no concept at all. I felt you will go into like human resources management or something like that. You said no, no, I want to go into films. I want to be, even if I don't earn anything, I will be happy. I will die happy. Even if I don't become an actor, I'll become a movie director. So I feel that this whole field that you have chosen, it's a combination of many things that you love: sports, filmmaking, going in front of the camera, bit of acting, editing, adding the music, meeting all these people who you adore. So all of it has come together, and you're making money out of it also. So I think this is perfectly cut to fit you.
So sometimes over the course of running the show, I get these very, very iconic guests. And my first gut feel is to actually call you and tell you because you know the story arc related to that guest. For example, when I called you and said we're getting Yuvraj Singh, like many, many childhood chapters and memories played out of like watching Yuvraj Singh together, etc. etc. How do you feel about that? Because sometimes I feel weird about it. That shit. Like if I knew that this is how my life would be as a kid, I would have been very uneasy as a kid. Like that, damn, that's gonna happen one day in my life. How do you look at this?
I think that's your job, no? Now. I just wish that you don't fanboy too much and you have a good interview. I mean, of course, tell them that they meant to you, that they played a large role in inspired you in life, but at the same time, present them to the world, which is what you're supposed to do.
Are you happy your son is earning well?
Yeah, of course, I'm happy. But I always told you three parts: save one third, spend one third, and invest one third.
I remember buying you something fancy last year on your birthday. And it almost made you uncomfortable, but then made you happy.
It made me proud that,
A-
see, my son can afford to give me this.
Any messages about toughening up to people?
I feel that the world is not a kind place. It is really cruel. You're constantly judged, and parents tend to overindulge their children. That they protect the child, they say everything is okay, doesn't matter if you don't do well, doesn't matter, there'll always be a second chance. But it's also important to toughen your child. So if the child is going through a bad time or the child is crying or something, fine, you have your cry, but also figure out what you're going to do next. How are you going to deal with this situation? Because that is how life is. There will always be people who will make you cry. And if you're going to just cry and say that, oh, this happened to me and all that, it's not going to work in this world. And nobody wants to, deal with a crybaby. They will judge you by what you do. So you have to get up, pick yourself up, and go and, fight again.
That's where all the motivational videos come from. Thank you, Dr. Swati Alavadya. You enjoyed the space. You were the first episode shot here.
It's very beautiful.
Okay. I'm hoping that I grow up more through this space. I feel that to get to the next stage of life, you have to always shed off things. And very painfully so, I've shed off all the Gokus I used to keep in the background in all our podcasts. And I love Goku, I love Dragon Ball Z. But I need to enter my 30s now. So want to be more grown up. And honestly, for me, the space is also built for the women of our country and the world in general. We've gone global with the podcast. I want to speak to women a lot more through the podcast because it's something I've not done enough of over the course of the show. So I hope that we begin that with this episode.
I hope so too.
Thank you, Dr. Swati.
Thank you for having me.
If you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out these curated playlists that we've made especially for you related to the subject that was spoken about in this clip.